The last time we went GNCC Racing on Outdoor Life Network, the Killer Bees, Chris Borch and Bill Balance once again jumped out front of the four-wheeled ATV division. When the checkered flag came out, they battled right to it, with Borch emerging with yet another win and extending his points lead. Can Balance answer back?
Hello and welcome to Racer TV. We're here at round number 4 of the Grand National Cross Country Series in Union, South Carolina. Joined with me is Rodney Smith, 5-time GNCC champion. Rodney, we're back in the Carolinas. How is this week going to be different than last?
Well, we're still in the Carolinas and the track's going to be still tight. The trees are real close together down here. It's going to be a lot of roots. It's a technical course.
We know Bill Balance and Chris Borch have been battling it out all year, the last 3 races. Chris has won 2, Bill has won 1. What do you see happening today?
Well, definitely, I think if Bill still wants to stay in this championship, he's going to have to come out and be strong here today, and he's going to have to win this race. He doesn't want to let Chris get too many wins under his belt and get a lot of confidence going. And it's important for him to bounce back today and take control of this race. And it's going to be a tighter race. It's going to be like last week. It's going to be, with the woods being close together, the quads are going to stay close, and I think it's going to be good.
We got a little rain this morning, which is probably going to help the dry conditions that we have here. You see that playing in? No,
definitely. The rain was welcomed. It was going to be a big dust race, which would have changed things up. It would have been whoever got the start would be favored today, but now it's different. It's going to be a good race, and Bill's got to bounce out and get a good start, and I think he's got to show Chris that he's in it for the long run.
Looks like we're going to have a great race. Let's head on to the start with Jason.
It was dusty when this day began, but rain fell right before we dropped the green flag in this race. We have no idea what conditions are in store for these riders. It's going to get good. Let's check out our Scott USA helmet cam and learn this racetrack before we go racing. To take some footage here from a motorcycle race. Of course, we race both 2 and 4 wheels on GNCC race weekends. Very rough track, wide open in sections, but be careful, there are some speed bumps, GNCC style in the form of logs, roots, and mud. These trails are fairly tight on a motorcycle, but especially tight on an ATV, which is twice as wide. And that means, just as Rodney Smith said, it's going to lead to a lot tighter racing today. It's going to be hard to break away from the pack, even if you get a good start. Before we do start this one, let's look at the point standings. Borch out front now, the youngster out of Pennsylvania on top of the point standings on the factory Honda, backed by East Coast ATV. And his longtime rival is Bill Balance. He is your 6-time and defending champ of this series, and he's on the comeback trail after a tough finish in our opener in Florida. William Yoakley always has fun at the GNCCs, and he's usually a contender for wins as well. He is on the factory Yoshimura Suzuki. Look out for Chris Jenks. We're waiting for him to have a breakthrough ride and maybe get a win and vault himself up on the list of contenders. There's a whole lot of other guys out here as well, hundreds of ATV racers, and we start with our pro class charging into turn 1. Looks like Matt Smiley on the factory Polaris is going to grab your ITP Whole Shot Award. Smiley has struggled earlier this year. Whoa, Jenks getting spun out in turn 2. So there's Smiley, and now Yoakley jumping into the second place position. And right behind him is Borch. Here it is, Smiley on that 500 Polaris. Took a chance starting on the inside. It's easy to get cut off or pinched off, but he got a good drive. And if you do that from the inside, you control turn number 1, and that's exactly what he did. But here is Yoakley taking the lead from Smiley, and actually looks over and says, I can't believe I've actually got this big a lead already. Balance into the number 4 position, chasing Borch and Smiley. So traditional veteran riders out front early here. Yoakley, though, is not this traditional machine. He's got a new quad today.
A little bit of everything. The creek jump's always interesting, and with the rain coming in, who knows what it's going to be like. It's pretty dusty out there right now, but with the rain coming in, these bottoms can get pretty soft out there. But I'm riding the new 450 today, and I feel pretty good about it. So I'm just going to go out there and hopefully get a good start and be consistent. I think everything will be all right.
Well, the fans love this section, the Suzuki Special Test. That's the Big Buck Creek jump. And this is legend down here in South Carolina. They wait all year. I think these people pretty much live down in this section of the woods waiting to see these ATVs air it out. There's Brandon Balance airing it out through there now. The next tough section, this is the Polaris Tough Track section, and this is basically a creek crossing. They can't cross and get all the air they want, but they're still going to land in the mud. It's pretty hard landing as well, and it's hard to land hard and land in very, very slick conditions. So these guys are trying to be careful and not hit it too hard. Yoakley, man, does he look good in that new 450 LTR Quad Racer Suzuki. Smiley has lost touch, got the whole shot, but he's already lost touch with Balance, Borch, and Yoakley. The rest of these guys, Michael Houston, Dwayne Johnson,
That's Santo Dorisi, Brandon Balance, and Adam McGill here rounding out your top 9. So the number 9 is in 9th. And here comes Jenks, a great comeback for him, considering he spun that thing all the way around on the second turn of this race. So here is Yoakley. How about it? The first race in the woods on that 450, and he's already leading it. So far, so good. He likes it. He says it's got a lower center of gravity, it's lighter, and the power is a lot snappier than his old 400. That Suzuki is made exclusively for racing, and what a racer it is. Yoakley leading them around at the end of lap number 1. We'll be back. Welcome back. GNCC action from South Carolina, Suzuki, ITP, Rocky Mountain, Moose Racing, Yamaha, and Polaris bringing you the action. Yoakley and Boris coming through the pit. Here comes Balance, and there goes Balance. He runs the full donut. That grass is getting churned up. And so is the field here, all battling to the pits. People getting fired up. Boris trying to break away from this. Let's talk to him.
Rained a little bit here. I think rain helped it out a lot because it was pretty dusty back in there. So hopefully it's just going to be a good track all the way around. Last year, me and Bill battled right to the end, and I passed him probably like a mile to go. Basically, I like to just stay in the top 3, hopefully, and go for the win. Try to click as many wins off as I can.
See Boris there working Yoakley over, Balance away in 3rd. And here's Matt Smiley in 4th on that Polaris, running well. He's got some pressure though. Let's talk to Mighty Matt about his new ride.
Well, we got a whole new bike this season. It's a Polaris Outlaw. We've got an independent rear suspension, which is all new it's a first of its kind for sport quads. The transition has been great. I don't want to get back on a straight axle machine after I rode this.
Well, there it is, that new Polaris Outlaw. Suzuki got a new machine here, and William Yoakley is riding it well, so all kinds of new technology hitting the GNCC ATV Tour. Smiley now battling with Houston and Johnson, 2 riders who have never been on the podium in a GNCC, and they want to get around him and go after those top 3 positions. Look at how deep the talent is at GNCC right now. There is McGill, Santo Dorisi, all chasing this guy, Yoakley, and he has been the class of the field all day on that LTR 450. Great riding by Yoakley. Houston back there in 4th. Houston has raced in this part of the country a lot, racing in a couple local hare scrambling series around here as well, so you know he's comfortable. Smiley and Dwayne Johnson battling it out. Now back to the creek jump. Suzuki, special test, and it's tightening up. Houston has now gotten around. Smiley's in 4th and Smiley 5th. There's Johnson 6th. The rest of these guys coming through. There's Brandon Balance, all clearing that lead with ease. The fans absolutely love it. This is great action, GNCC style. Andy Lagston's of the Duncan Racing Honda coming by as well. But here is Yoakley, and he actually opens it back up again. Now it is Balanced in pursuit. Borch there in 3rd, and Houston in 4th. You know, a lot of these guys will use this early portion of the race, save energy, learn lines, and attack later on in the game. So we'll see who's running flat out and who is holding back. Yoakley's a pretty smart guy, as is Balance and Borch. They've been in this position before. You wonder when a guy like Houston gets him in sight, if he'll be able to be as calm and cool, collected as Yoakley has been so far. Oh, this Polaris tough track section is starting to get dug out. Now you've got tree roots and mud. Oh, and Houston makes a mistake. He's got Johnson there right with him. Very difficult to maintain your momentum through that section. Look out. That is Chris Jenks on the comeback trail. And amazing the acceleration he got on that GT Thunder Honda coming out of that section, considering how little traction there is. It is indeed the Polaris tough track section. There is Bithell, who was on the podium a week ago in North Carolina. Brian Baker running well on the K&K Honda as well. And there is the number 12. That is Dorisi on that Team Excel Motorsports line. Look at how crazy this section is getting now. The mud is getting splashed out of the riverbed and onto the bank. And that's going to make that section more and more difficult as the day goes on. Now back on the dry ground. Houston sticking with these guys. You see the track is very slick. We had a lot of rain earlier in the day, as you heard a lot of these riders alluding to. In some ways, that's better. There's obviously less dust out here, but traction will be at a premium. Look at this battle. At the end of 2 laps, we've got all 3 guys nose to tail. Where is Houston? There he is in 4th. And there's Dwayne Johnson sticking with these guys. We've got 3 front runners and 2 guys right behind them that want a shot at their first ever podium. Great racing. Let's get an idea what these guys are running. Let's go to our Motorsport Hot Product of the Week.
Hi, this is Team Motorsport Honda rider Mark Kendall with this week's Motorsport Hot Product of the Week. Whether you're on the trail or you're on the track, you need a durable, comfortable gear that holds up well. Team Motorsport Honda chooses alloy gear for that. Check out the 06 Alloy SX1 pant, just like Team Motorsport Honda wears. Also check out the 06 Alloy Pulse jerseys. And right now you can get alloy gear at motorsport.com for blowout prices. And that's this week's Motorsport Hot Product of the Week.
All right, Suzuki GNCC action back here from South Carolina, and it's time for gas stops. Yoakley leading these guys in. Look at how close this battle is. Yoakley on that new 450 Suzuki. You got Balance and Borch in there as well. Who can get in and out of the pits quicker? Here they're bringing the revs up. Borch is out. Oh, look at this. Here comes Houston and Johnson and Balance. All four riders pulling out Yoakley with a long stop. Yoakley lost the lead. He's actually dropped back to 5th. Balance with a good stop. Let's talk to his mechanic.
Yeah, we came in on the end of the second lap. Said he wanted just a new set of goggles and topped him the rest of the way off of fuel. I believe we got him back out in 3rd place. I went down about a mile and a half into the after the finish line, and he was still back in 3rd, so we should be good to go the rest of the way.
We also have a report, Yoakley, that slow pit stop. They've got every part of that new Suzuki dialed in except the gas tank. They haven't developed the dry brake system for that yet. They had to rig one together, and it doesn't pour gas as quickly as the rest of these guys. Look at this. Unbelievable battle. Yoakley has caught those guys. Smiley in there as well in 6th. He can see them. We've got 6 riders within sight of each other. Here's your next group. That is McGill and Bittel. Those are the 2 rookies in the Pro Class, well, along with Dwayne Johnson, who is right there with the leaders. Borch now getting out front. Borch out front. Let's see who's pursuing him in 2nd. It is Houston. He's splitting up the Killer Bees right now, and Dwayne Johnson there as well. And I got to give credit, Johnson and Houston, they look pretty relaxed, running up front with these guys. Just as I say that, Balance able to get by and move into the number 2 spot. There is Johnson and Houston. Traction adding premium here on a track that's been rained on, and the roofs are coming off. Now Balance back into the lead. He's got to be happy with the way things have gone today.
Lost here a couple of times starting this season in the first 3 races and got 1 win, and it's time to turn things around. My plans today is try to get out front early and just set the pace myself. I've been sort of laying back and let some other guys lead early, but today I just want to change it up. I want to get out front and try to run with it, whether it's muddy or whether it's dry. I'm just going to get out. We got the bike working awesome, and I feel good. So we're going to see if they can run my pace today.
Well, that was the idea. Finally, though, Balance has gotten to the lead. It took a long, long time. Let's see. He's going to set the pace. Can Borch or any of these other guys stay with him? And now we see, oh, he has stepped up the pace. They have left Johnson and Houston behind. There's Johnson trying to keep them in sight. If he can't see them, it's going to be hard to run with them. So it is a critical juncture in the race for Johnson and Houston if they want a shot at winning this thing, or at least staying in podium contention. There is Yoakley in 5th. You know he'll be strong to the end. And Chris Jenks, what a pace he has put together after that terrible start. Balance leading Borch again, so the Killer Bees back out front. But look, Dwayne Johnson hooking on with them again. So Johnson not letting them go. Great ride by the rookie, Houston, trying to stay with them as well. Again, look at them sliding these ATVs around. Very difficult to maintain traction. Yoakley was so strong early, beginning to lose touch. We might be down to 4 riders battling for 3 podium spots. Now here we go. Oh, jeez. I got unbelievable Balance, almost looped down. Borch has come to a stop. Borch, steam pouring everywhere. Something has gone wrong. He's trying to kickstart. Who is that behind him? I think that's Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, you see the red on Johnson's machine. He is stuck. They both stalled their machines. Balance is just walking away now. Borch frustrated. Fans trying to help him out. He is stuck. He throws his goggles aside. He gets some assistance, but the damage is done. Let's see how it happened. With our Yamaha slow motion replay, this might tell the tale of the big buck. Balance, oh, did he hit that thing hard. But he managed to keep his momentum going. Now let's see what happens to Borch. A big wall of water comes up, and I'm not sure. Maybe he sucked some water into the engine, maybe into the ignition. Either way, he stalls that machine. And Dwayne Johnson, well, so much for that strategy. He was doing a great job staying close, but it cost him. And what is this? Now Michael Houston is in the lead. What happened to Balance? We have no idea. Houston has gone from 4th to 1st, and what's more, there's no one else in sight. There's Johnson. He's gotten around. Where is Balance? Now Yoakley's in the number 3 spot. Here comes Balance, and Ford has gotten totally mixed up. And Jenks is right there as well. So that Yamaha, that replay that we saw, that might be the entire race. What happened to Balance, we are not sure. Here is Borch working his way through slower traffic, trying to make up time. He is going to have his work cut out for him with 1 lap to go.
Let's start with this double storage bay from Ryder Cargo. It has 2 large bays where you can place helmets, shoes, boots, or anything else you'd like to strap down with bungees and get them up off the floor out of the way. This item from Ryder Cargo is a spark plug dispenser. Makes it very convenient. Have your spark plugs right there ready to go. Pull them out, throw them in your bike. Have you ever been searching through all the drawers and all the closets in your trailer while it's dark, looking for a flashlight? Ryder Cargo has the answer. Conveniently locate this next to the entry door, and your flashlight is right there, and you can find whatever you need. The last item from Ryder Cargo is this workstation. Conveniently holds up to 6 quarts of oil in the top here, with a nice little workspace here. Put nuts and bolts, whatever you may be working on. These and other fine products available exclusively at RockyMountainATVMC.com.
All right, Suzuki Grand National Cross Country action. Suzuki, ITP, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose, and Polaris bringing you the action. Somehow, some way, Michael Houston and Dwayne Johnson have got themselves into the number 1 and 2 spots. Yoakley is 3rd, Balance, and that is Chris Jenks rounding out the top 5. You know Balance is going to hustle now. He had spent all race working his way into the lead, and he had problems. It's the same thing has struck Borich. He's got to come into the pits and get some goggles. He lost them in that, well, he got goggles and he lost them. The problems continue for Borich today. They are in such a rush now. He's going to get that thing back into gear. It's been that kind of day for Chris Borich. For a while, it looked like the Balance and Borich show would continue with Brandon Balance in 7th. But disaster has struck, and now those guys are just on a hunt to get some points and maybe be able to work their way all the way back. While these 2 contenders, Matt Smiley comes out of the pits in the top 10 in that Polaris. The 2 contenders are Houston and Dwayne Johnson. And who would have thought when this day began that late in the show on the last lap, we'd be talking about Houston and Johnson going for the win. Balance on the charge. He has caught Yoakley for 3rd, and Chris Jenks going right with him. And Borich, you've got to imagine he's hanging out harder than anyone right now. He is your series points leader. He cannot let Bill Balance get away from him. There's Brandon. Adam McGill in 8th. Matt Smiley in 9th. Back to our leader, Michael Houston. Can he hold on? Let's talk about it. He has never been on the podium in a GNCC before, and he's trying to make his debut with a win. Dwayne Johnson, same deal. Yoakley's been here a million times. First time on that new Suzuki, and he looks over his shoulder, doesn't see anyone. Here's Jenks. Where is Balance? Where is Borich? And how much pressure is this rider, Michael Houston, under? He has got to be nervous. He's got to be tightening up. He's got to be hearing the footsteps. Yoakley moving in a 2nd. There is the Killer Bees. Borich has gotten around Jenks for 5th, and it looks like Brandon Balance on the move. Houston continues to lead, and in fact has a decent-sized lead now. Yoakley in the 2nd. He did get around Dwayne Johnson indeed. There's Johnson. There's Balance. There's Borich. Championship points to the line for the Killer Bees. But I don't know if there's enough time to catch this guy, and look at how hard Michael Houston is going. Only a few turns away, the final checkpoint from taking his first ever GNCC win. And a snarling pack behind him. Borich, Balance, that's Johnson in front of them, and Yoakley in the number 2 spot. What a race, and all this battling going on while Michael Houston hopes to withstand all the pressure, all the heat. Can he take a win? That would be huge for his career. And look at this battle. Johnson, Balance, and Borich dueling the last lap. If they get one tire off the mark, they're going to hit a tree and end their day. All right, Polaris tough track section one last time, and Houston gets through. No one jumping into it now. They are rolling through that section. They're not going to make that mistake again. Yoakley, Johnson, and there's Balance and Borich. What an incredible race down the stretch.
Last lap. Will the Cinderella story last all the way to the end? Rachel, Michael Houston leading this one right now.
Yes, we have Michael Houston out in the front. He's never been up on the podium before, so I can imagine him being somewhat nervous, but somewhat exciting also. Let's see if he can hold on to it.
Now, I reports Yoakley might have moved into the number 2 position. Yoakley's been here before. He's going to put the pressure on Houston coming down the line, and we're going to be here to catch it.
All right, here it is, 2 miles to go, back out of the racetrack. Houston is there, but so is Yoakley. And I got to repeat this, I cannot imagine the pressure that young man is under, especially with this snarling pack behind him. Johnson balanced 4-inch. These guys are not letting go. Now we're in the field. Yoakley is there. Oh, he almost goes over. Balance going to work the inside line. Here's a drag race. And Balance grabs the number 2 spot. Time is running out. Balance managing to get the second. But time is up. The crowd reacts. Michael Houston is going to win the Pirelli Big Buck GNCC. Balance holds on for second. Yoakley third. Forge fourth. An unbelievably close finish. And how pumped is the LTE racing crew about their first ever win.
How does it feel?
Oh, it's wonderful. I didn't think I'd be able to hold on that last lap, but
What do you have to say there?
just ride as hard as I could possibly ride. Thank you.
Oh, what a great day of Grand National cross country action. There's Michael Houston of the Looney Tune Exhaust Racing Team. They have got to be ecstatic. A brand new team, and they get a win early in the season. Yoakley and Balance there as well. Thanks for joining us on OLN.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, Riding, Racing. AMA. Join now.